I'm going to read from basically a collection that's in this book called Housing Act. But I'm also going to read some sort of exit strategies. This one's called The Destruction of Country Houses in 20th Century Britain. From memory, the modern physiognomy of the best picnic is on Arga's plough. How can you forget the massive gazebos overflowing with fresh salmon and moe out the proverbial bucket? Oh, dancing in the moonlight, we're dancing in the moonlight. When the sun is big and bright, now I like it. It's dancing in the moonlight. It's a supernatural delight when everybody is dancing in the moonlight. Oh, we're dancing in the moonlight. Pin locked and the clashing oars are needle grown out of HM government. Children are the build for best water, just like rabid class equipment declines and returns for each cohort reneged. Sorry is the hardest word, but you learn from your mistakes, remember? You just like walking around its intrepid fantasy with elbows in a topiary garden, dancing to the architecture of moonlit colonnades, the custodial moonlit amphitheatres, the moonlit nightclub interiors as designed by Edwin Lichens on old drugs and rethought as a underground bungalow. And an exit into anti-ligature moonlit prisons with calico print on the walls that keep you in a second nature bind, like the new poor law. By day, devoted exclusively to treadmill prayer, and by night the very cradle of blessed liberty, a palliative of others in the good collective bed. To mobility regime, upping flowers in a new version of dirt. If they do not exist from their subsistence, then remember biting the monarch, bestowing largesse horsepower is reinventing the wheel to 40 poor boys of custo clothes by the Barocas as informal water pageants, splitting custom-made faux stone toys, blocking up amenities all the way down Dorney Lake like shit doesn't sink. Well, I'll let you know, to each his own. Keep on a pierced throne for the imperial measure to watch the poor niche alcoves. This is called To the Huts. Nerve presets next to my accomplished alarm, locking day and night out, livid in celluloids, its orbital home moving, stupid liquid in the curing of sleep that you cannot decline, that feelings excite the big zeros as crown pains camp in the baked sky, diagnoses the fracas as illustrated trauma, made the bloodline mute, the vein in circulation. Our ears are now in excellent condition as the sound is almost always awful, clocking scathes, the hum about the street struck the throat with blood, padlock bursts. That is proof enough, never counts feral under baton rounded, cost pried into a large bolus, its texture marbles, the larynx charge of lifetime disposals, the turret speaks. What is one, chokes the sky and crosses it through. Now Caster sings out uptake, the floating scale, mature chime, kick lock free for the voice sealed in the ring outcried. No one wants to see the ballistic gelatine record since it has decreed the air already mixed with bone in the panic rotor. See from the no jobs run amok over the proud varicose, fat on sun loungers. Watch the juvenile lash out, now watch the choppy sink in Badlands, the Saturnalia. So eat the chicken wings, gilded in a better hour. This next one is 100 proper burgers. Natural and civic with Georgic oranges. People reach out, we switch to natural mineral water. At love overseas, what dimension The heartland splinter thinks the topsoil is not known. Contamination measure traps you in a fake meeting carried out during the summer over mantric rabies for self-persuasion. Only you thought you could escape 100% proper burgers. And this is the press release of the show that's in Catford that is conveniently very easy to get through or to get to from London Bridge. That's with myself, Ruth. No, I like it. That's it. Yeah, that's this show in Catford. That is with myself, Ruth, and Adam Gallagher. It's called this poem is called "Of Donkey Burrows and Pearly Kings." It's a short one as well. Oh no, maybe it's a long one. Calmly squatting on top, we are numbered. Out of the blood passes with a defective toy bus. The smoke, honeymoon, atmosphere permeating all the dead factories militates, no doubt, against the production of work supposedly undid in the morning. I was born dwelling in their landscape as they bathe across the Meuse from millionaires to millionaires. On the telephone, the landlord informed me, sighing, that he knew what it was, but answered that in other parts of the building comprising shops and apartments, there were very bad cases indeed. I was not, unfortunately, the only one he wished I was. He wished it was only nice people with dry rot in them somewhere. You must take your place in the queue, in the beams, joists, architraves, jambs, window frames, floorboards of these unlived-in places, and simply stay there. One harmless tourist always wants to be alone, as a plotted plant. Sir Landseer, iconic cold glass alongside air-eating scepter eyes, till the building fabric is a common feudal-style patronage, a hatred of words with its severe rectilinear death mod curls and a quiescence. But it isn't like that in real life, is it? Because real life is a blood clot of lost water and high brick walls. Battlement sets in, a safe world, they all go woolly, and if you can't find the secretive sanctuary garden, then you're clearly lost. I'll finally read from this actual book that I proposed in the beginning. This one's about pyromaniac, a Geordie pyromaniac, but actually is about Prince Andrew. It's called Ode to Minnie. Slithering on a heat belt made of ambrosia, in the corner is the chief whip, a chubby-fingered naughty in a truce. Don't call a basket or other receptacles below. No, the large crowd predicted, as usual, that there would be no significant rival claimants, all saying and sharing none of its DNA in the first place. So make off white wickerwork like beauty in Victoriana pop, and it toured globally for many years. Huzzah! Staged as mimes of English history in perjury, in fields the brass roar to the cup hymning back as an impossible sweat gland to lay a scent and pick up to lay one more persistent is death of clique leaders in a collision on the A149 in Sandringham. What are you going to do? Are you going to put him in prison? It's ridiculous. The outcome is satisfactory, and his car runs on a crisp white wine. That is satisfactory, and it smells delicious through the hills. I saw 14-year-olds carry out hideous acts of courage with cracked heads and things like that, yelled at stones and trees, more broken heads in the morning then. They yelled at stones and I called God and the military, and both came on the dot. Now what the fuck are you going to do? I've got God and the military on call whenever the fuck I want. The outcome is inevitable. This is your dirt grave. I said it was out of the ordinary, standing there, but oh, the glow stick vigil garden is beauty without measure, and it all started to compost, all for a seatbelt probe. 11 teddy bears walked out in sobbing protest, the plants still in vigil glow, followed them one by one, all the way round Europe and back, my love for you, the police, and a number withering in Althorpe, you and what fucking army, Johnny Oddball, Pyro Queen, nothing to stand on or face the full force of law. Your life, this dough ball fondling legs, just gave way to a new style share platter. Out the ordinary, woke up in a bath of shit mud. Who's coming of silver shining through? That's just the way I am, the way I was bred. How much time do I have?
Can you just move a bit further away?
No.
It's too loud.
I'm sorry, I'm too loud. Is it too loud?
No, it's good.
It's good. I've got contrasting opinions in the building. How long have I got? 6 minutes? Well, I'm going to elect someone to read a poem on my behalf, if that's alright. Do you want to read it? Do you want to read it now? Maybe he'll be less loud. Also, this mic is very seductive. I can only but get close to it.
It does help the acoustics though.
This one? The government.
I got it here.
Oh, you got it,
What do I know?
This poem's called, read in a different way. It's called The Government's Food Company. Simon Church Hall hangs out in a very busy vestry with cereals, rice, and donated people that tenderly know that they are there uplifting food penalties as elegiac lament, more compelling, in loyal queue, big-hearted, coal utilities. At the finest store, milk toast. You say it, as though they are, there they are, up against washing up liquid. Vowed off as less visible, less real gratitude, half-inched licentious turns by formal hovering off stage. You buy out, shaped, gridlock, right over, concrete rested, respite on hand to see the bone in Benison. My favourite poem.
This one's called Thank you. That's Adam Gallagher, a fellow collaborator. And you can see his work in Catford. It's an easy jaunt from London Bridge. Only takes 25 minutes. This is called British Cabinet Room, as it was in 1914. It's basically a conversation with Dominic Cummings over the telephone. From the Cabinet Room, Lord Salisbury used the fireplace as a tool, meaning soot would be cleaned with a broom made of birch and twigs, an unusual and ingenious way of dealing with smoke as oath of credit or malice by the door, of a friendlier peace term more opulent than your escargot in English. Bid this a courtesy title, radically simplified, paltry, hopefully fertile and abject drudges shaped in duck pate to the golden fool for 140 hours a week, suckered at very due to ongoing equal yourself, unacceptable and no longer fit for purpose, though it blew back the wane of day into the 18th century safeguarding of their brood. Shine the dumb men as they throng directly below the knight and above the gentleman, clinker in pay point spine until you die out in a dry beat gamma ray. Photons can eject eligible children. So if you die, you really die. What music will whisper that and keep going? Whipped at the cross every morning, fringed out like a chain of legally entrenched red teams, incentivized to overcome a little speck like you, climbing back into the soil you came from, nodding off with Carillions again, see new possibles adjusting into bleach empery, the vine leaves with gilded hawpea, the front door out of blood does not mark you out from love of archaic. They should know and remember devices proud of this shore are stranded, even now more barren and austere, to crown his rod and say to all the chiding of pain eyes, shut up upon this mulch and pray. Your kind is going down in the fly ash, lime and bentonite, while Jeff Bezos is explicitly trying to revive the Muller vision, and Britain should be helping him do it much, much faster. How much time? That's it. 2 minutes. We'll see. I can read very quickly. Just incentivize me. Okay, I'll read this. With themes of socio-economic resentment, check-proof allocation spent on grassy knolls as the bridge deck verbatim ablates the common out in sun-leased moot objective as a new heart of live acoustic cordon. How the Greek amphitheatres are still in use today. It will have firm edges. It will be a quadrilateral and they will contain large amounts of people uncharged at a planned loss on both sides of the procurement process. They should build it in whole, probably. The chai turret of bastard feudalism is recruiting gentry in right affinity justice as geography of Bourgeois eligible clamp the poor door of rent glittering day-long, night-long prism, all windows spoil air nicely to black the schoolyard and chapel steps, hang off stick-ups birching on the flock, day your fetch stick regale stiff in dramaturgy, cuffed urbanist stocking garden closes, tipped in skin cultivated leafy glade, sculpted wild glade, pioneered horribly, as they should always have done. Lips and tongues say, I don't want choice, I want nicer things. Palm olive in streets, tinted bride into sights, out harm, admitting only that which does good, as form order of the mistress to the house of drunken mosquitoes and doors, female clothing as royal mastheads, weds use of a kipper and comrade government. Aspires out the social borax, but where are the papers? The spent gumtree of her bodice franchise decorated with a peacock feather as immobile knit caresses the birch with an appreciation of anatomy, platform suffering at this swishing block. But what am I to be punished for? Needless to say, the electrical spanking machine is of American origin, in and out of hearing the end of customary discipline, like a laboratory rat doomed to an inexorable itinerary. In its cage you feel celebrated gift in painted aluminium, anodized aluminium, plexiglass, wood layered in passe, screen wall plate, double mounted wall rail, powder coated aluminium, 20 elements each, 200 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 3 centimeters, and the signage for a 35-foot floor social center as incomplete relations of a post-utopian community. The instruction text vendors hate speech. At a certain distance from the heart, the street existing ceiling brushed and etched, and it whips the confirmation class, a romance of schoolboy England, and the humour of the suppressed as bedroom reading. Right,